Just turned up to the out apiary and I think we're on. Oilseed rape in full flower now. As soon as I got out of the van, you could smell it. See the hives down in the background there. Best go down and see what they're like. So we're down here at our out apiary. As you can see, got a bit of activity. It's just gone a little bit windy now. It turned up, it was quite sunny, but it's still probably about 10 or 11. But as you can see, I've got to get down here and sort these out and start looking at putting supers on. Noticed there's only one in a nuke now. I came down at the back end of March, just had a look through them, and two of them were pretty much ready to go into a full-size hive, but I wasn't quite happy with the single story nuke there, so I left it as it was. But we'll go in and have a look at everything and see what they're doing now. As you can see, it's still pretty much nuke size. We have got some frames of brood. We'll lift out one and have a bit of a look. I've seen a queen already. There's already some of this season's drones. You can see we've got some cat brood there emerging. You can just see they're starting to store a bit of nectar down there. Good ring of pollen. But to be fair, this colony isn't really big enough to have a super yet, in fairness. So we might just leave it until the end of the week. We're actually on the 10th of April now, and as you can see, that rape, it's well on. But to be fair, out of all the flipping fields around here, this is the field that is probably furthest on. So yeah, they'll still get some, but I've just got to let them build up. If I start putting supers on too soon, it's just going to hinder them. It's going to create too much space. So yeah, I'm quite happy at that. I'll leave that as that. I'll leave the super here, but obviously I'll isolate it from them so they can't get to it. Right, let's just have a look in some of the others. Right, let's just have a look at this one. Get the roof off. Just see what they're like. Just crack the crown board a little bit. Get some smoke in there. Just let the smoke settle. Just make sure you guys can still see me. Yeah. I should have settled at that. Notice I still got fondant on. Like I say, we're still only the 10th of April, 11th of April. Sorry, just after bank holiday weekend. Let's see, a few more bees. I'll put that just down there near the entrance. Let's have a look at these. Bit of a darker strain. These were the Gelanta ones, but I have a feeling they requeened her. So let's just get one of these frames out. Again, they're storing a little bit of nectar in there, bits and pollen. These are a little bit spicy. Let's just get them down. Don't need loads of smoke. That's drawn out, that's freshly drawn comb, that's good. Let's have a look at this one. Full frame of brood. If you get some open cells, it's worth doing a bit of a disease inspection as well. Make sure you've got no signs of EFB. So another cap frame of brood. Larvae right in the corners there. Just have a look at that larvae, make sure it's nice pearly white larvae. It looks pretty good. And what you're doing there, you're just making sure, it's more of an EFB inspection. The bees aren't too bad, they're more just inquisitive to me. Another good cut frame of brood, some larvae in the middle, so they must have had some of this brood here must have been hatching, and she's laid back into that, and obviously we got the outer bit as well. Let's give them a bit more smoke around my head. Notice I'm putting some drone comb at the bottom there. first signs of colony reproducing or swarming, because they want their drones out there. Quite a defensive colony this, actually, to be fair. I'd say this is probably a little bit further on than the other one. Can't remember if we got a marked queen in here. I have a feeling we don't, but again, that was brood hatching out. And of course, I haven't brought my queen marking pen. Lots of drone comb at the bottom here, that's all laid into. So to be fair, out of the two hives, this one's looking closer to a super, but I'd like some of that brood just to start hatching out, so probably in the next 5 or 6 days. Yeah, there's my queen. You can see her there, moving along. She's laid up in all to this. Bit of stores. That's freshly drawn out as well. Got eyes on her, so I know where she is. Don't want to squish her. Bit more smoke. Like I say, they're a little bit spicy, these ones, but I think the Gelanta ones are a little bit known for it, I think. Pollen frame, nectar quite heavy, and then what we got on the end there. Because obviously you still got your drop of winter bees, that's all that's full pollen, that's good, and some fresh nectar. So pop that all back together, give them a bit of a smoke. I'll just put this frame back in. Not quite ready for a super yet, in my opinion. Yeah, not quite ready for a super, I don't think yet. Maybe in 5 or 6 days time, 7 days time, we'll reassess. I might just leave them that fondant on, because I think there's going to be a few cold days, and next week it's all going to kick off. Meant to be 18 degrees and stuff like that, so that's when we're really going to start going for it. I'm sealing that food off, it's just a bit of a stop there. And that'll do for that one. Yeah, a little bit of a lively colony. But yeah, not too bad. You're bringing in plenty of pollen, plenty of nectar. That'll do. We'll go to the other hive. As you can see, this one that I've transferred over, you can see through the glass crown board, it's only really on 6 or 7 frames, so not quite ready for a super yet. The nuke, it's getting there. It's about 4 frames of brood, and it's starting to emerge now, so that's due for probably putting in a hive in the next week or so. But this feels just so early, and the bees aren't quite that far ahead. I put a super on top of that one just as a matter of course, bit of a experiment to be honest. It's got fresh foundation and super, so it'll give them something to do when that brood emerges. It is quite a feisty little colony, so they're the ones buzzing around my head now, so apologies if that's all you can hear. But as you can see, 11th of April, and all the top flowers of the rape are flowered. You can see the top ones, but then obviously you've got your lower stems. These are all going to flower, these are all going to flower, these are all going to flower. So even though you see a field yellow over, if you like that, it's just the top flowers. So hopefully there's still plenty more to come from this field, but there's plenty in this area anyway, so which is how we do. But it's game on now.